Welcome everyone to our morning chair yoga practice. And I'm going to invite you to take your seat, make sure your phone is turned off, that you have no distractions, your door is closed, the rest of your family knows that you will be spending this time with yourself. And so I'm going to invite you to, lean forward, to remove the flesh from your sit bones, so that you can really feel your connection to your chair and ground your feet. So bringing as much as you can the ankles right underneath the knees. And if your chair is at an angle where your knees are hanging a little bit downwards, and you might want to put some support underneath the soles of your feet. So there's a sense of relaxation, and that actually your thigh bones, your femurs can actually ground in your pelvis. So from here, allow yourself to press into the ground, press into your chair, to lift and lengthen through the crown of your head. I invite you to lower your gaze or close your eyes and allow yourself to notice where you are in space. Becoming mindful of this moment, of the sensations that you're feeling in your body, of the sounds that you might be hearing around you. Perhaps there's some smell in your space from morning breakfast or essential oils. If you're going to be using essential oils right now during these times, I really recommend two. I recommend tea tree, which kills viruses, and lavender, which is really calming to the nervous system. And lavender actually also has a bit of some antiviral properties. So if you were to pick just one out of the two, right now pick the lavender. So bringing your awareness to your breath and noticing your natural breathing patterns, whether you're breathing in and out through your nose, through your mouth. And just simply observe, now you're breathing in, now you're breathing out. Notice as you're observing your breathing that you might start breathing a little bit deeper, having a sense of more fullness of your breath. Perhaps you'll notice other changes occurring as well. Maybe your breath starts slowing down. Notice where in your body you notice the breath, and imagine that you're just scanning. You're stepping out of your body and you're just observing what's happening within you as you're breathing. Notice if there's any sense of discomfort anywhere, any gripping, any pain. Again, we don't judge any of it. We just become cognizant. We just become aware of what is happening as we're breathing. If you're breathing in and out through your nose, notice how when you inhale, the air feels a little bit cooler, and when you exhale, the air feels a little bit warmer. Notice where in the nostrils you feel the breath, whether it's going through the center of your nostril or whether it's gently touching one of the sides of your nostril. Now I'm going to invite you to give direction to your breath and to imagine as you're breathing that you're sending the breathing into all the surfaces of your body that are touching a surface. So, for instance, your glutes, the back of your thighs, the soles of your feet, perhaps into your hands. And so for the next few breaths, notice where there's that resistance between your body and a surface, and breathe into that. And again, whoever joins us, please make sure that you turn off your speaker so that the recording remains focused on me. I'm going to invite you now to just simply notice what's going on physically within you. So scanning your body, starting with the crown of your head, working your way down to your toes. Notice if there's any areas of tension, any areas of gripping. And again, you're just mentally recording. It's just like we're observing a child, what is going on. Notice next the level of your energy. How are you feeling in this moment? Are you feeling a little bit tired and lethargic? Are you feeling a little bit excited and have this extra energy? Or are you just feeling like you can just peacefully ground? So I'm inviting you to peacefully ground, and your body is at its own state of energy. And so if it's not where we are right now, there's going to be either a sense of effort or a sense of, well, there's going to be a sense of effort either way to either bring it down or lift it up to meet this place. And again, there's no judgment in any of that. There's just an observation that to bring the body to a different level of energy. So notice where that is at right now and whether there's a sense of effort. And then notice your mind. Is your mind all over the place? Does it keep on thinking about what you're going to be doing next, about whether you really have time to be here right now, what other things are on your mind? Just notice them and then let them go. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be there when we're done with our practice. Give yourself permission to be in this moment and to dedicate this little bit of time to your being. And so again, we don't judge. There's no negative inner dialogue. It's just like, oh, that's interesting. Yes, it's effortful. And then finally, notice your emotions. You know, what are you feeling emotionally? What's happening in your heart? Is there stress? Is there pain? Is there grief? Is there some kind of suffering? And again, is there anger? I mean, there's a whole wide range. We tend to ignore all what we consider negative emotions. I'm just inviting you to notice them. It's okay to feel those other emotions. What's not okay is how we necessarily, if we respond to them with violence, right? So one of the tenets of yoga is ahimsa, non-violence. Gandhi was a big proponent of this non-violence. His whole life's journey was guided on that. And so I'm inviting you to bring non-violence into your life. And non-violence is not just what we do unto others, it's what we do unto ourselves, both in terms of our thoughts and our words and our actions. So those three areas. So right now, just noticing, allowing whatever range of emotion you're feeling, just observing it, just knowing, like anything else, it's going to pass. It doesn't feel like it when it's intense in the moment, but everything passes. Change is our only constant. And so based on what you've learned, what you've become aware of in your body, I invite you to set an intention for our time together. And it might also be something you carry on to the rest of your day. So take a moment to set an intention. With every breath I take, I am more and more of that quality. And take a moment to breathe that intention in, knowing that as you inhale, visualize that you're inhaling light, you're inhaling the energy, the resources, the imagination, the skills, whatever it is you need to be able to fulfill your intention. Imagine that when you exhale, that you're flushing out the darkness, you're flushing out what stands in the way, what you no longer need, what no longer serves you. So there's this, every breath matters. Every breath is an opportunity to take in new elements and to release the old. We are renewing ourselves with each breath. Make every breath count. I'm going to invite you to release your arms, and with your next few breaths, again, always allowing this practice to meet you where you're at. There should never be any pain in any of the movements we do. So you do the movement in the way your body is ready to express it. So somewhere about reaching your arms, your heart, your chin up, lifting it up, feeling that extension in your front body. And as you exhale, you're letting go. With a giant hug. And so doing that a few times, inhaling your arms up. And a couple more times. Allow that ha to expel whatever you need to release. And again, you are in your own space. Do this as many times as you feel you need it, as long as you feel it's serving you. Let go. And then come back and just notice. Grounding yourself. Witnessing the shifts that have occurred within you. And how you feel. Reconnect to that breathing, connecting you to the surfaces that are supporting you, to your belly, to your seat, to the soles of your feet, even to the palms of your hands if you're choosing to ground them on your thighs. Whenever you're ready to continue on an inhalation, I invite you to inhale your arms up, to grab a hold of one wrist and to lift it up towards the ceiling. And then again, with each inhalation, you're gently pulling on that wrist. And as you exhale, you may wish to do a gentle lateral extension, pulling that wrist over your head. And now notice you can shift your torso from side to side, lifting your heart. Notice how it's stretching different parts of your body. Allow your teeth to detach, your lower teeth to detach from your upper teeth. If you tend to grip, you may wish to gently press your tongue to your heart palate in the upper mouth. Gently pressing so that you're pressing the lower jaw away from the upper jaw. Relax the lower shoulder. One more breath. And then exhale. On an exhalation, releasing the movement. And once again, just for a moment, noticing, witnessing what's happening within you. Where do you feel? The more you look and try to notice what's happening, you might start feeling sensations in more and more areas of your body. So it might start with just a very, very small sensation. And as you practice this over time, you can do this in your own time as well. You're going to start becoming more and more aware of more parts of your body, of just the sense of aliveness within, however that expresses itself for you. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So on an inhalation, again, you're inhaling the breath in, you're grabbing a hold of the opposite wrist and you're lifting the arm up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders behind you. Now keep pressing into your chair, ground yourself. And so use that resistance to lift and lengthen your spine, and then gently invite that wrist over your head so we're in a lateral extension. Now every week I tend to do these lateral extensions and do them in different ways. This is your practice. If this does not resonate with you to do it in this particular way today, do it in one of the ways we've done before. There's no right or wrong. What we're trying to do here in reality is to open up the spine, to laterally extend it, because it's healthy for the spine to move in all directions. And so you can always go to what works best for you. Again, if you move your wrist in an arc over your head, you're going to notice the stretch shift in the side of your body. And whenever you're ready on an exhalation, releasing, grounding the palms of your hands, and once again taking a moment to just notice, witnessing how you feel within. I'm going to invite you to bring, whenever you're ready to continue, take your time for that transitional pose, but when you're ready to continue, I'll invite you to bring your fingertips to your shoulders and to imagine that you're swimming. Now again, your awareness here is on the shoulder joint and on the spine. And so notice, I can move only the shoulders and keep my spine facing forward, or I can start twisting, imagining that I'm kayaking. And so I'm bringing my heart. Now again, keep pressing into the chair so that you have a long spine. And as you're inviting this twist into your spine, again, movements of the spine. And work on the shoulders. I invite you to start changing directions. And again, just as you're noticing the spine, witness the sensations in your shoulder. If there's a difference between the right and the left. And again, there's no right pace to move at. You might be moving slower or faster than me. And it's all good. All right, and then just releasing that, and once again, just taking a moment to notice, to witness how you're feeling inside of you. I'm going to invite you now to twist your heart towards your right and to extend both arms out, right? So they're like this, the one's reaching out, one's reaching behind you, and to do little circles. And so we're working now a little bit of strength in the shoulders. We'll only do this for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change directions for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Notice the work that you've done. Notice the sensations in your chest. Notice if you're gripping anywhere. Always check in your forehead, your temples, your jaw, all these areas. We want to just let them go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So turning your heart towards your left, laterally extending your arms. Now reach out. We're trying to create length. We're trying to meet one another virtually, and the arm behind you is as far back as it can go. Now notice what's happening with your pelvis. Try to keep the pelvis square to the front of your chair and ground both sit bones. Now you're looking forward, so there's a twist of your neck happening here. And so again, starting these circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and changing directions for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. This looks like nothing, but I promise you, doing this is going to be strengthening your shoulders. It's going to be strengthening your triceps. And it's also working on your neck. So bringing your awareness to your neck. Again, keep pressing into the earth. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling, keeping your mouth closed. Feel the stretch in your throat. Pull the shoulder blades in your back body. And as you exhale, pull the chin into your chest. Notice the stretch in the back of your neck. So moving at your own pace, inhaling your chin up, reach as high as it will go comfortably, keeping that mouth closed, and exhaling, pulling the chin into the chest, and really trying to press into your chest as you keep your shoulders back. So again, being very mindful, the spine is so used to being rounded that it might want to do this. If you need help, you can hold to the back of your chair. So inhaling the chin up and exhaling, pressing the chin into the chest, noticing that stretch in the back of your neck. And last time, inhaling the chin up And exhaling the chin into your chest. Beautiful. Coming back to neutral. Take a moment to look over one shoulder and bring your gaze behind you. Coming back to neutral. Look over your other shoulder. Bring your gaze behind you. Looking forward one more time on either side. Looking over one shoulder, looking behind you. Inhaling, looking up over the other shoulder, looking behind you. And back to neutral. Beautiful. Drop one ear to one shoulder. Lifting back up, dropping the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. And looking back up. Now grabbing a hold of the back of your chair and sitting on the front edge of the seat, pull your heart forward. So if I'm doing this from the side, right, ankles underneath the knees, grabbing a hold of the back of my chair, and I'm leaning forward, so I'm opening that heart center. And breathe. And even from here, notice how I can be sitting like this, rounded, or I can lift my heart. So what I think about is I imagine there's a tray at my heart and I'm lifting it up. Now again, witness how that feels. This might feel super uncomfortable. And so you're moving gently. You never force anything. It's with the breath. With the inhalation, you're exploring, going, reaching a little bit deeper. And as you exhale, you hold your reach, but try to release the tension around it. So inhale, extend just a little bit more. And exhale, letting go of the gripping that's holding that space. One more time, last breath in this pose. And exhale, gently release. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to invite you to stretch one of your legs out in front of you. So once again, you might be seated at the front edge of your chair, holding on to your chair, and stretch, extending one of your legs. So I'm extending my right leg. You may wish to also do your right leg to keep track. Again, holding yourself on the edge of your seat or behind you and pulling the toes towards you. So my leg is extended straight and I'm pulling the toes towards my shin. And now I'm going to extend the toes towards the mat, towards the ground. Again, I'm working on lifting and opening my heart. And then flex, flex, flex. Point, point, point. Flex, flex, flex. Point, point, point. Flex. And now as you flex, lean forward. Lean into your front leg. Support yourself on your bent knee. You're going to notice a stretch in the whole back of your hamstring and the back of your thighs. So release your lower jaw and keep pulling the toes towards you. It doesn't matter how deep you're going. No one's looking at you. No one's measuring you. Just as long as you're feeling a stretch in the back of your leg, we're releasing tension. You hold so much tension there. Now, again, what's critical here is to have your spine be as straight as neutral. Again, I'm just showing you here the side angle. So my leg is extended. Notice how there's no rounding of the spine. So if you can't go as deeply, it doesn't matter. As soon as you're feeling that stretch, that's what we're trying to work on. Now lift the kneecap, engage the quadricep, keep pulling the toes towards you. If you're feeling a stretch of your hamstring, your quadricep is working to make this possible. You are doing yoga if you're breathing. So remember to breathe, to be present, to be mindful. Ground on my voice, ground on your breath, on the sensations within you. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So again, you're still sitting on the edge of your chair, extending out this time your left leg or your opposite leg. It's straight. Your pelvis is parallel to your chair. And so point your toes, feel the stretch in the whole front part of your foot. Now for those of you, and then flex, pulling the toes towards you. So as you're doing that movement, really engaging. For those of you that are familiar with reflexology, there's this idea that all our organs are mapped on our feet. They're also mapped on our hands, on our ears. It's part of the concept of acupuncture, of Eastern medicine, Eastern energy healing. So anyway, the front part of the foot corresponds to our lungs. So if ever you're feeling congested, you can actually take a ball and roll that ball on the front, on the top part of your foot, because it's working your lung area. Also, that part feels like I'm inviting you here to stretch, and a lot of us hold so much tension there. It's really challenging to just stretch this part. And so it's a really healthy thing to do because it's actually opening up the lungs. And again, take what you want, but really in everything I'm sharing with you, these are not things I've made up. They're things that I've been studying. And the ultimate test is you. The ultimate test is you trying these things, practicing them, and seeing if it works for you. And then you will have that wisdom, right? The difference between knowledge and wisdom is that wisdom is the practice of it and owning it. You know firsthand what works for you and what your truth is. So at this point in time, we're pulling the toes towards the shins, feeling that extension in the back of our leg. Lift your kneecap, engage the quadriceps, and then gently pivot forward. So you're going to feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Again, you're supporting yourself on the bent knee. And again, keep lengthening, lifting your heart. No one's measuring how deep you are. We really want, as soon as you're feeling that stretch, we're trying to release that muscle. We hold so much tension in that muscle and it pulls on our lower back. So releasing this on a regular basis is going to give freedom to your spine, to your pelvis, to your lower back. And it's also calming to the nervous system. Beautiful. Okay, so releasing, coming back into your chair, completely allowing yourself to be completely supported underneath your thighs by the back. Rest, grounding the palms of your hands. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and to just notice how you're feeling right now. Witnessing the sensations within you. The gifts of your practice. Observe how you're feeling physically. Your body. What are some shifts that might have happened during our little practice together? Observe the pattern and the flow of your breathing and the quality of your energy right now. And perhaps you notice a shift from when you started up the practice. Now notice your mind. How present is your mind with you right now in this moment? Is it a little bit calmer? Has it let go of all those other thoughts? And so again, we just witness that without judgment. Any little shift counts. Doesn't matter how small. Notice your emotions. And there's a sense of increased peace and balance within you. Getting that to that perfect space is a journey. I don't know that any of us ever spend that much time in any given day in that perfect place of balance, but we go towards it and away from it. And so I'm inviting you just to notice if you're a little bit closer to that place of balance after your practice today. And so noticing your sense of bliss. Thank you so much for your attention today. I really enjoy the time that we share. I hope this practice serves you to take a step forward towards your intentions and that it brings you a sense of increased peace and balance and grounding, especially during these turbulent times. This is really important. Again, you're receiving a link that you can use at any time and any time of the day. Just, go back half an hour, a little gift to yourself to bringing that sense of reconnecting. With your next inhalation, I invite you to inhale your arms up, collecting all the good energy into the palms of your hand, pulling what you have created and anchoring it into your heart. Thank you so much for being with me here. Namaste.